Good day, I'm David Walton with Walton De-Ice. Today we're at Columbia Falls, Montana at the SSE facility. We're going to show you how to install a snow shield cover and an ice quake system on SSE's 4.5 meter satellite earth station antenna. To start the installation off, we're going to unload the two boxes. The one box has a snow shield cover in it. The other box would have the 3 ice quakes and the local control unit, along with power strut and tie wraps. Now that we've unboxed the de-icing system, we're going to have to wipe down the edge of the reflector. This is where the trim lock is going to be installed, and we're going to be using a silicone to adhere it to the edge of the reflector. So you're going to want to clean any debris off of this area first. After you've cleaned the edge of the reflector, you're going to want to take out the trim lock and the silicone out of the parts bag. Then you're going to want to put the silicone into the center of the trim lock. This is what will adhere the trim lock to the antenna reflector and keep it from moving while you're installing the snow shield. Next, you're going to want to make sure that the edges of the reflector, so the panels each other, are straight so that it's easier to install the trim lock. And you just take the trim lock and push it in place, making sure it goes all the way down and bottoms out. This can be a tedious process, but it is very important because it protects the snow shield cover from the sharp edge of the antenna reflector. The next step is to install the 4 high wind straps on the 4.5 meter antenna. We're going to have 2 going vertical and 2 going horizontal. Now that we've installed the high wind straps, we're going to install the snow shield cover. The first step for that would be to remove the L&B cover. Then we're going to have to take off the coax cable off the L&Bs. Then we're going to remove the entire ring support from the feed support legs. Next, you're going to want to remove the snow shield cover from the cardboard shipping box. You'll note that there's a blue strap that goes around the snow shield cover. That is attached to the top of the snow shield. What you're going to want to do is take the cover out of the plastic bag, take it up to the top of the antenna using this strap, tie it to the back side of the reflector, and gently unfold the snow shield cover down the face of the reflector. It needs to be on top of the high wind straps, not underneath. Then we'll drape the cover down from the top down to the bottom of the reflector and put the feed support legs through the 4 boot openings in the snow shield cover. Then we will finish unfolding the cover to the sides of the antenna and install the L&B plate, coax, and feed cover. Then we will move on to the sides and back of the antenna. Before you go to install the ice quake system in each of the units, you're going to want to remove the bracket, the bolts, and the vibration isolator pads by removing these 2 3/8 bolts. That'll make it easier for you once you get up on the ladder as far as installing the unit. Next, we're going to go up to the top and show you how to do it. Before you start to install the ice quake unit, you're going to want to pull back the trim lock away from where the vibration isolator pads are going to be installed. Typically, you can just pull it back a bit and tuck it under the snow shield cover. Next, you're going to want to get a tape measure and measure the edge of the reflector. This is 1.5 inches on the SSE antenna. So what you're going to want to do is at 1 inch, make a mark in the slot that's in the snow shield cover. This is predetermined. This is the width that you're going to need. Do it on both ends. Start off with a pilot hole. And you have to change the bit to a 3/8 bit. Next, you're going to want to take the 3/8 by 1 inch bolt, one that has a lock washer, small flat washer, and the sealing ring, and put that in your 3/8 hole and out the top of the reflector. And we have a wedge washer. You're going to want the skinny end facing towards the front of the reflector. And you're going to want to put the vibration isolator pad on there loosely so it'll wobble around, make it easier for you to install the Ice Quake. And you'll repeat the same step on the next one. And you're going to want to take the Ice Quake, slide the paddle into the pocket. Next we have the 3/8 by 1.25" bolt lock washer, large flat washer in neoprene rubber. It'll go through the housing of the Ice Quake and into the vibration isolator pads. You want everything to just be loose right now. The beveled washer might turn on you, so you want to make sure again that the thin end is facing towards the front of the reflector before you start tightening the vibration isolator pads to the reflector. You're going to want to leave a service loop just in case the motor fails. That way you can cut the cord and splice in a new motor, and you'll have enough cord to be able to do that. And you're going to want to run the cord all the way down to the local control unit at the base of the antenna. When installing the Ice Quake units, it is extremely important that you have at least a 3/4 inch gap between the back side of the paddle and the edge of the reflector. You do not want this paddle hitting the antenna reflector at all. If you do, all the vibration will be transferred directly from the Ice Quake into the antenna. After you run the cables down to the local control unit, or where it's going to be located, you're going to want to leave a service loop for both the azimuth and the elevation movement of the antenna. Whether it's motorized or stationary, you never know if your customer is going to change the position to a different satellite. Next, what you do is you take the 2 pieces of power strut or unistrut and you install them on the 2 legs of the antenna. It would be mounted 13 3/4 separation between the 2 at center. And then we use 1/4 inch spring nuts that you put into the channel itself, and then using 1/4-20 bolts, you bolt the local control unit onto the power strut. Make sure that when you do install this, you use a level. It's very important that the moisture grid is level after the installation is complete. Wiring in the local control unit is pretty simple. Each Ice Quake unit has 4 wires, a black, a red, a neutral, and a ground. Black would go on V and the red would go on C. There's an electrical diagram in the manual that you can follow. The LCU also comes with 15 feet of SOOW cable for power. It's pre-wired into the control unit, and what you'd want to do is have a bell box at the base of one of the antenna legs and run that cord down to into the bell box to interface into your 120 or 220 volt power supply. Have here is the moisture grid. It's located on the top of the LCU. It too is pre-wired. And down here on the base is the thermistor that senses the temperature. What you're going to want to do is put clean water in the moisture grid, and then using a thermal spray or component cooler, spray the thermistor until it reaches 39 degrees, at which point the system will automatically activate. You will of course want the toggle switch in the auto position and the system position for this to work. After that cycles off after 30 minutes, you're going to want to go down into the manual position, make sure the Ice Quake system activates, go back into the auto position, and then you're going to want to take the system switch down into the bypass position to ensure that that works as well. What the bypass position does is that completely bypasses all the electronics, and it's just a hard closure. The 120 volts coming in and then going directly to the Ice Quake motors themselves, bypassing everything in this unit. As you can see, our Ice Quake system can be installed during inclement weather, whereas the competition cannot because of glues, adhesives, aluminum tape that is required to be used to install their antiquated de-icing heaters on the back of the antenna. Well, that about does it for us here in beautiful Columbia Falls, Montana. I just want to thank Superior Satellite Engineering for their hospitality and letting us install our system on their antenna. Thank you very much and have a good day.